Hello my dear viewers, this is Tirupati Nayak Malot. I am a faculty of history. Today I am going to explain to you about Telangana movement. As you know that Telangana movement is a decider in any examinations. You see any competitive examination which they conduct in Telangana state by TSPSC or any other boards where this is very important. And there is no online classes or there is no proper English medium classes about the Telangana movement. So that I wanted to give you an overview of Telangana movement and I wanted to teach to you the Telangana history, especially Telangana movement. So let's begin. Before going to start the Telangana movement, we need to concentrate on historical background of Telangana. Historical background of Telangana. Without knowing historical background of Telangana, we may miss somewhere. Okay, the link will be missed. So let's see once. As you know that our Telangana region was once upon a time in the BCs. It was ruled by the Satavahanas. It was ruled by the Satavahanas. Satavahanas. It was the biggest empire those time. After the Satavahanas, important or prominent rulers were Kakatiyas. As you know that Kakatiyas rule were ended in 1323. Prataparudra II. Kakatiyas rule were ended in 1323. After the downfall of Kakatiya Empire, our Telangana was gone into the hand of Delhi Sultans. Came under the control of Delhi Sultans. Right. So these Delhi Sultans were ruled till 1347. So Telangana was under the control of Delhi Sultans till 1347. Right. After that, Telangana was under the control of Bahmanis till 1527. It's very, very important. Later, during the time of the last Bahman ruler, his name is Kalimullah. So during the time of Kalimullah, Bahmani kingdom was divided into 5 provinces. It was divided into 5 provinces. Example, these 5 provinces were, first one is Bidar, second one is Berar, third one is Ahmednagar, fourth one is Bijapur, and the fifth one was Golconda. Right. So this is the sequence. Satavahanas were the first rulers of Telangana. After that, small rulers were there, but after that, the largest dynasty which ruled Kakatiyas till 1327. Later, Delhi Sultans ruled this Telangana. Some part of Telangana came under the control of Delhi Sultans. As you know, Delhi Sultans were changed the Warangal name as Sultanpur. Right, Sultanpur. Later, it came under the control of Bahmans till 1527. After the 1527, the last Bahman ruler was, during the time of last Bahman ruler, Kalimullah. So this Bahman kingdom was divided into different provinces, 5 provinces. So these 5 provinces were Bidar, Berar, Ahmednagar, Bijapur, Golconda. So this Golconda was ruled by Qutub Shahis. Let's see once about the Qutub Shahis. Yeah, Qutub Shahis were ruled from 1512 to 1687. 1512 to 1687. So these were ruled Qutub Shahis. Let's see who are the Qutub Shahis rulers. As you know, there are important Qutub Shahis rulers like who constructed Charminar, right? And they contributed contributed about to dig Hussain Sagar. The first person was Sultan Quli Qutub Shah. First person was Sultan Quli Qutub Shah. Second person was Jamshid Quli Qutub Shah. Right. Then third person was Ibrahim Quli Qutub Shah. Ibrahim Quli Qutub Shah. Okay. Next, the fourth one was Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. I am writing in shortcut. Okay. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah was the important ruler, greatest ruler of Qutub Shahi dynasty. As you know that his rule was 1580 to 1612. 1580 to 1612 he was ruler. Then later, after Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, Sultan Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, the son-in-law of Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, Sultan Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah was ruler. So after that, Abdullah Qutub. After that, Abdullah Qutub was ruler. Abdullah Qutub was ruler. Then later, the seventh one was Abul Hasan. Abul Hasan. And Abul Hasan also known as Tanisha. He also known as Tanisha. Okay, Tanisha. So these are the very important rulers of Qutub Shahis. Many times questions asked from to arrange the sequence of Qutub Shahis and what is the who was the important ruler or prominent or greatest ruler of Qutub Shahi dynasty and what is his year to rule this Qutub Shahi dynasty. During the time of Ibrahim Quli Qutub Shah, time one was that Ibrahim Quli Qutub Shah's son-in-law. Okay, son-in-law was supervised the tank Hussain Sagar. Okay, Abul Hasan or Tanisha. You may remember that during the time of Abul Hasan, Bhakta Ramadasu appointed as a Tahsildar of Palwancha region. He was constructed Lord Rama temple and finally he was imprisoned. During the time of Abul Hasan, the last Quli Qutub Shah's time, Aurangzeb was attacked on Quli Qutub Shahis. Aurangzeb was attacked on Abul Hasan and Abul Hasan was defeated. So when he was defeated, 1687, Aurangzeb was defeated Abul Hasan and he captured the Golconda. He captured the Golconda fort. Then we can say that from 1687 to 1724 it came under the control of Mughals. So our Hyderabad or our Telangana region, it was under the control of Mughals from 1687 to 1724. Our Telangana was under the control of Mughal. Who defeated Abul Hasan? Mughal ruler, one of the last powerful ruler. Aurangzeb was defeated Abul Hasan and he was captured the Golconda and he occupied the Telangana region. He was annexed this region to Mughal region. So 1724. In 1724, let's see. So I am writing here 1724. So 1707, Aurangzeb was died. Aurangzeb was died. And 1717, Farrukh Shiar was died. Farrukh Shiar was died. After the Aurangzeb, I said Aurangzeb was the last powerful ruler. After the death of Aurangzeb, the rulers were very weak. The rulers did not consolidate their power properly. So 1717, the ruler after Aurangzeb also died. So after the Aurangzeb, 1717, Muhammad Shah was king. Muhammad Shah. So Muhammad Shah was the ruler. During the time of Muhammad Shah, okay, in 1724, Nizam ul Mulk was declared the independence. right? So 1724 till 1724, our Hyderabad was under the control of Mughal. But 1707, Aurangzeb was died. Then 1717, Farrukh Shah was died. After the Farrukh Shah, those rulers who came, they are very weak. Okay, so during the time of Muhammad Shah, one of the person who was working as a governor in the Hyderabad region, he was during the time of Muhammad Shah, Nizam ul Mulk. His name is Nizam ul Mulk. So Nizam ul Mulk established independent Hyderabad kingdom. Independent Hyderabad kingdom. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Who was the founder of Hyderabad kingdom? Nizam ul Mulk was the founder of Hyderabad kingdom. Nizam ul Mulk also known as Asaf Jah. He also known as Asaf Jah. The actual name of Mir Usman Nizam ul Mulk was Mir Kamaruddin. He also known as Chinkilich Khan. It's very, very important. These are very, very important. I want to repeat. From 1687 to 1724, Mughal Hyderabad or Telangana region was under the control of Mughal. At the time, it was under the control of Aurangzeb. But Aurangzeb was died in 1707. After the death of Aurangzeb, the rulers who came, they are very weak. Then, during the time of Muhammad Shah, when Muhammad Shah became a Mughal ruler, the governors were declared independent themselves. So in Hyderabad, okay, this is Hyderabad. In this Hyderabad, Nizam ul Mulk was appointed as a governor. He was working as a governor. But in 1724, he declared independence. Yes, I am the king of this region. So Muhammad Shah also did not want. Muhammad Shah also did not give any punishment to them, because Nizam ul Mulk, before Nizam ul Mulk, in 1717, Murshid Quli Khan. In 1717, Murshid Quli Khan also did the same thing. But Muhammad Shah nothing, he was not telling anything. Okay, so this is the first incident and this is the second incident. So these people are believing that Mughal rulers are became very weak, they are not telling anything, they are not punishing us, then it is better to declare independence and to rule ourselves. So first Murshid Quli Khan, he declared Bengal as his own and he became a king of Bengal. When he became a king of Bengal, Nizam ul Mulk also wanted to become a king. Then he also declared independence in 1724. In 1724, he declared independence and he became a ruler. His name is Nizam ul Mulk. Nizam ul Mulk, he is actually Mir Kamaruddin. He studied Chinkilich Khan. He also known as Asaf Jah. He also known as Nizam ul Mulk. And he was the founder of independent Hyderabad kingdom. Very, 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 very important question. Who was the founder of independent kingdom of Hyderabad? Mr. Nizam ul Mulk or Mir Kamaruddin Chinkilich Khan was the founder of independent Hyderabad kingdom. Right. So after let's see who are the rulers of this Nizam ul Mulk. Okay. Who are the actual rulers? Yes. Let's see important rulers of Qutub Shahis. Qutub Shah is completed. Now let's see important rulers of Asaf Jahis or Nizams. These also called as Nizams. These people also called as Nizams or Nizam Shahis. Right. Now Qutub Shahis. Qutub Shahis 1724, it was under the control of Mughals. So Mughals after. Let's see after the Mughals, just we have discussed that it was came under the control of Nizams. First, who established an independent kingdom? Mr. Nizam ul Mulk. Nizam ul Mulk. So Nizam ul Mulk was the first independent ruler of Hyderabad state. Nizam ul Mulk after. Second one is Nasir Jan. Nasir Jan after. Third one was Muzaffar Jan. Muzaffar Jan after Salabat Jan. Salabat Jan after Nizam Ali Khan. Okay. Nizam Ali Khan after Sikindar Jah. Right. Sikindar Jah after Nasiruddaulah. Nasiruddaulah after Afzaluddaulah. Afzaluddaulah after ninth one. Okay. Mir Mehboob Ali Khan. Mir Mehboob Ali Khan after Mir Usman Ali Khan. So this is the sequence of Nizams. So these all are called as Nizams. Okay. So Nizam ul Mulk also known as Mir Qamardin or Chinglish Khan or Asaf Jah. He was Nizam number 1. Then from Nizam Ali Khan onwards, these are his number is Nizam 2, Nizam 3, Nizam 4 and Nizam 5, Nizam 6 and finally Nizam 7. So these are not the hereditary of the Nizam ul Mulk, but they became the rulers. But these are the actual rulers. One after Nizam Ali Khan, Sikindar Jah, Nasiruddaulah, Afzaluddaulah, Mir Mehboob Ali Khan, Mir Usman Ali Khan. The greatest person of the Nizams were Mir Usman Ali Khan. He was ruled from 1911 to 1948. 1911 to 1948, Mir Usman Ali Khan was ruled. So these sequence also very important. These numbers also, Nizam's numbers also very important. This is the fifth. Let's see now. Again, during the time Nizam Ali Khan was accepted in 1798 a subsidiary alliance. Very important. Nizam Ali Khan was the first Indian ruler who accepted subsidiary alliance in 1798, which was developed by Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley initiated a plan. So that plan name is subsidiary alliance. What was subsidiary alliance? According to the subsidiary alliance, the local rulers were need to be remove the forces, their own forces. Then British will be protect them. Who will protect them? British will be protect them. Okay. Then so this was agreement because all the Indian rulers were afraid with the British. But now British only came forward to protect the local rulers. Then they are very happy. Now British is protecting us. So no need to worry. Then they signed. 1798 Nizam Ali Khan was signed a subsidiary alliance. It was made by it was during the time of Wellesley. According to the subsidiary alliance, they have to local rulers have to be obey the external matters which was decided by the British. Okay. Next, Nizam Ali Khan have to pay salaries to the British soldiers. If he was failed to pay salaries, then he need to be hand over certain amount to them, or he need to be hand over certain areas to collect taxes to the Britishers. I repeat, now Nizam Ali Khan agreed to pay salaries to the British soldiers. If he was unable to pay the salaries to the British soldiers, then he have to be hand over certain lands, and the British will be collect money from the land. British will be collect taxes from the land. So that was the subsidiary alliance. Then Sikandrabad name. Sikandrabad name was derived, okay, on the name of Sikandarja. Sikandrabad name was kept on the name of Sikandarja, right? Nasiruddaula. During Nasiruddaula, 1857 revolt was broke out. During this question also came. During Nasiruddaula, 1857 revolt also broke out. And Mir Mehboob Ali Khan. Mir Mehboob Ali Khan was a small kid. He became emperor. He became a ruler. Who was a minor to become a king, that is Mir Mehboob Ali Khan. Mir Mehboob Ali Khan was a minor, but he became a king after 18 years. From 1884 onwards, in 1884 he became an actual ruler. Then who will rule? Because he was a minor. He was in 10th year, 12th year, 14th year, 16th year. Who will rule? Here one regency council will be there. One regency council. So that regency council will be rule. That regency council will be rule. That regency council will be administer. Finally, Mir Mehboob Ali Khan became emperor in 1884 and 1885. Okay. Then the regency council was abolished. He became emperor. And as you know that Mir Usman Ali Khan. Mir Usman Ali Khan, so 1911 to 1948, he was ruled. He was the greatest ruler. He was a greatest ruler of Hyderabad. So this is the sequence. This is the sequence. Next we have to learn what actually happened during the time of Mir Usman Ali Khan. How Hyderabad got independence. How Hyderabad was liberated. So that we will discuss into the next session. I hope you understand this historical background of Telangana. Okay, from Satavahanas to Mir Usman Ali Khan. So if you compare, you may understand the linkage between one dynasty to another dynasty. I hope you understand this session. I request you, if you like this session, please share my channel and comment it if you are not anywhere you are not understanding, and do not forget to subscribe. That's it myself. Thank you. Thanks a lot.